Okay, so we're going to talk about operating budgets now, and I'm going to follow right along with the book with our class notes. So you should be able to use that to take notes and write whatever you like. But the operating budget, all right, this is the budget that we produce for what we do all the time. That's operations. Okay, and generally it doesn't come down to net income, it'll come down to operating income, but that's okay. Well, that's okay. You'll still have some non-operating expenses in here that you might be due toward the end of the process, but the emphasis is on operations. So it's a normal normal income statement that looks like we've got this is the on an absorption basis, and this is for a manufacturer. So we've got sales and cost of goods sold as gross margin, less SG&A is operating income, and each one of these lines has to be budgeted. Okay, the most difficult one right here is probably cost of goods sold, because we've got the sales budget's your favorite. That's real easy. But then production, then if that's what we're going to produce, then how much are materials going to cost? So how do we purchase it? And we do this according to a formula. Direct labor budget, manufacturing overhead budget, they all go into cost of goods sold. Okay, and once we're finished with this, we've got an actual budgeted income statement. So let's do the sales budget first, and it's really straightforward. So it's prepared first, and the sales budget drives everything. Okay, wherever you're going to sell. That's why you want to be friends with everybody in marketing and in sales, even though they're not, quote, like us. It's still a good thing for you to do. So we have a sales budget here that's budgeted volume times budgeted selling price. Okay, so let's see, cash sales. Yeah, so we can just make the debit to cash. Cash receipts forecast, though, is a separate calculation. These are not cash receipts, okay? These are budgeted sales. So here's our budgeted sales volume, okay, for 3 months for the quarter, July through September. And the selling price is $4 per unit. So here are my budgeted sales per month, and there's my budget for the quarter. Is that great or what? Okay, so let's take a look at one multiple choice question here. This Advanced Enterprises reports year-end information as follows. They give us sales and cost of goods sold and gross margin, less operating expenses is operating income. And they're looking at the 2019 budget. And in 2019, the company would like to increase selling prices by 13.5%, but they expect a decrease in sales volume of 9%. Okay, everything else is expected to remain constant, and variable cost or cost of goods sold is considered all variable. But the question is only asking for budgeted sales. So just for what it's worth, I can show you this. I did this the long way. Okay, so these are my sales divided by my units. I came up with $5.97 as a selling price, and this could keep going. It's actually 4 digits. It goes on and on, so that's a crazy number, and I kept thinking I picked up the wrong number, but I didn't. And then our cost of goods sold was $4, then I increased the selling price by, 13.5%. Okay, then decreased the sales, and I came up with one number, but you know what we can do? This was a lot of work to get something that was close, but not really on the money. So what we can do instead is just take the 961 times 0.91, that's the 9% reduction in sales, times 1.135, that's a 13.5% increase in selling price. And that gives us our answer. Okay, but what I want you to do, don't worry so much about questions like this. I want you to be able to do this. Okay, to prepare a budget for a quarter. That's sort of your overall goal. Okay. Now then, the second piece in here is the production budget. And, remember, we started out with what we're going to sell. So now we've got to figure out, well, if that's what we're going to sell, then how much do we have to produce? And there's a formula that goes along with this that is, really critical to understanding it. And my budgeted units to be produced are equal to the budgeted sales plus a target ending inventory. Okay, no one wants to end the month with no inventory and everything gone. Okay, so the very next day you don't have anything to sell. So what companies usually do is they forecast an amount that they want to have on hand. And we can subtract our beginning finished goods to get budgeted units to be produced. And this is a good example here of, here's July, August, and September. Here are our budgeted sales volume. Target ending inventory is 10% of the next month's production. Okay, so our next month's sales. So our month sales are 3450. Our target ending inventory would be 345. In September, 3590, 359. Okay, and we didn't have a number for the first month for July, so we can take, no, maybe they gave it to us, did they? I think they did. Yeah, for July, that's 345. No. Yeah, 345 more units. Yeah, we're good. Okay. And we don't have October's, so we can't figure out December's. All right, so we're just looking really at these 2 months. So this is the total units needed. Then I'm going to subtract my beginning finished goods inventory, and beginning finished goods inventory, I'll just tell you in a second. Usually, beginning finished goods is ending finished goods in the prior month. Okay, so let's see if I can insert, put a line in here. Okay, so this 345, our ending inventory in 1 month is beginning inventory the next month. Okay, so we can do that again. Beginning inventory in 1 month, I gotta get under the line. Here, this 359 becomes ending inventory 1 month is beginning inventory the next month, and the same thing then for the well, you know. Yeah, so we've got July, August, and September. And in July, since we didn't really have a beginning inventory number, they kind of gave it to us here. But what we could do is take 10% of that current month's sales and make that our beginning inventory. Okay, because that's what it would have been. All right, I wish I could see your faces right now. This schedule is a little bit to get used to. Okay, you absolutely need this formula, but you'll use it in several areas, so at least you'll get some mileage out of it. So it's sales plus target ending inventory minus what we had on hand is units to be produced. Okay, and this example I'm pretty sure is right out of the book. So you know, a question generally would ask you, you know, how many units do you need to produce for August? Because you've got all those numbers, you know, it's pretty solid. And here's another one. This XYZ company produces and sells chairs. Quarterly budgeted sales are as follows. Here are budgeted sales. Ending inventory of finished goods for a given quarter is includes 5% of the next quarter's budgeted sales. Okay? Ending inventory. So what we're doing is planning on keeping on hand 5% of the next month. The question is, how many units do we have to produce for quarter 3? So we start out with our sales. That's the 4,500, 5,000, 3,000, plus target ending inventory, and that is 5% of the next quarter's sale. So 5,000 times 5% is 250. 3,000 times 5% is 105. And in order to get this, did they give us this number? The 250? Oh no, the 250 is 5% of 5,000. Yeah, sorry. So these are all the units that we need, and then we've got to subtract our beginning inventory. And beginning inventory, in this case, we're going to take, well, let's do these 2 quarters first, okay? Beginning inventory would have been ending inventory from the prior quarter. So beginning inventory here would have been 250. Beginning inventory for quarter 3 would have been ending inventory for quarter 2. Okay, and because we don't have a beginning inventory here, all we know is that it should have been 5% of this 4,500. So that's what that 225 is. Okay? It's these sales times 5%. That would have been your beginning inventory. So in quarter 3, we needed 3,240. We're going to have 150 on hand anyway, so we only need to produce 3,090 units. 3090. Okay, so we'll pick this up with direct material purchases. I might have a class problem right in between here just to figure out production. Okay. Make sure that you do these questions yourself at home without looking at any answers, okay?